Hello and welcome back to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 7. So this is my 12th interlude video in which I will be grinding job levels for my characters. This time I will be grinding the Summoner class. And because the Summoner class had an ability at level 1, I am going to show what it is. It's called Meditate. Now what Meditate does is it heals your characters. Focus mind to heal HP. I'll just use it with Hero very fast and have everybody else parry. And it supposedly heals like 500 HP or something like that, so that's pretty cool. Obviously my characters are nowhere near 500 HP yet, but I just thought I would show that. Melvin just matured as a fighter, so I'm switching him over to the Dancer class. Hero was promoted to level 36. Ira just made up the experience for the Warrior class, so she learned the hybrid skill between Warrior and Bard. Now I'm going to switch her over to the Thief class. As Summoners, Hero and Gabo became Conjurers and learned Defeat Max, so let's go find out what that does after we get through all this dialogue here. Now Defeat Max, that's obviously an insta-kill ability. I'm assuming it's going to be among the casting, 13 death to all enemies. So let's have both of them casted just to see if the rate is a little bit higher, rate of success is a little bit higher. So far, it worked to kill one of them. It killed another. But that evil arm, her in the center, is definitely not dead. So yeah, that's what it does. Melvin just matured as a dancer, so I'm going to be switching him over to the Mariner class to mature that as well. Ira is now level 28. As the Summoner class, Hero and Gabo became Geomancers and learned Magma. So we are going to find out what that does. That's obviously a fire-based ability. There's quite a few of those in this game. And it should be a spell, I'm assuming. Surprisingly, it is not. So let's go right here. Release Molten Rock. It's acting like it'll attack everything, so... now I think about it, I want to check. It doesn't cost any mana at all. So... Ooh. I hope it does a lot of damage. And... it's not all that great. But... something. Melvin was promoted to level 32. Melvin just matured as a Mariner, and using his experience as a Dancer and a Mariner, he learned Ship Dance. So now I'm going to switch him over to the Cleric class to mature that as well. As Summoners, Hero and Gabo became Elementals and learned Tremor. So let us go find out what Tremor does. Obviously, it's a Earth-based ability, or at least it should be. I don't know if I've ever seen any Earth-based abilities in this. I'm going to assume... well, actually, what am I saying? Rock Throw. Let's see if it's amongst all this stuff. Oh, there it is. Rip Open Fissure. I'll use it with both of them. It looks like it attacks everything. So, I'll parry with the two of those. And... did that instantly kill them? Well then. I now have an instant kill ability that seems to actually work. And it even gives EXP and gold. That's pretty interesting. So, yeah. Melvin just matured as a Cleric, so I'm going to be switching him to the Bard class to mature that. Gabo has reached level 35. As Summoners, Hero and Gabo became Maelstroms and learned Hellflame. Now that sounds interesting. Let's find out what it does. I wonder if it's going to be another skill, as opposed to a casting ability. We'll find out in a second, won't we? I'll look for it here first. And yeah, it looks like it's a skill. I wonder where it is amongst all this stuff here. There it is. Unleash Hellish Flames for 16 MP. I'll use it with both of them. Okay, parry, parry. And it looks pretty fancy. Should do a lot of damage. Oh my goodness. Well, for 16 MP, I would expect it to do pretty good damage. And it does. It's pretty nice. I don't know how often I'll use that, but for some of the tougher enemies in the future, I might use it. Melvin just matured as a bard, so I'm going to be switching him over to the Jester class. And he hasn't been the Jester class before, so obviously I'm going to be mastering that class with him. As summoners, Hero and Gabo became Tempests and learned D-Magic. So D-Magic, almost sounds like a debuff of some kind. What is it? Debuff enemy magic spells? Who knows? So we'll find out here in a second. It should probably be among others here. That's what I would assume, but obviously it's not. Maybe here somewhere? No. Okay, others here then. There we go. Void spell effects. Okay, so what I think this actually does is, like, let's say, for example, the enemy buffs themselves with that. I think, or not buffs themselves with that spell, but buffs themselves with any kind of spell. It removes the buffs. That's what I think it does. All magic effects, yeah, so it does do essentially that. Ira is now level 29. Ira just mastered the Thief class, so I'm going to be changing her over to the Fighter class, which I believe she has not even trained in yet. I'll actually check it very fast, out of curiosity. Yeah, she hasn't trained in the Fighter class yet, so I'm going to be changing her to that. As summoners, Hero and Gabo became Furies and learned Hellblast. So let's go find out what that is. Ira also leveled up a job class there. Okay, so let's see what it does. I'm gonna just assume it's among these because I've assumed the other way every single time. Yeah, there it is, Hellblast. Hellish Energy Ball. Okay. There we go. I'll parry with the two. Is it gonna attack everything? It looks like it's gonna attack everything. That's pretty fancy. Am I imagining, or did that not do as much damage? No, wait, it did. Those enemies, those snails that the attack just killed, have this ability to defend themselves or whatever, so it reduces the damage by half. Anyways, that was pretty interesting. Melvin is now level 33. As summoners, Hero and Gabo became Ragnaroks and learned Summoner. Right after named right after their own class. So let's go use that very fast. They also mastered the class just now. So let's see. I don't know where it'll be. Actually, it should be right here. Call Primal Spirits for 10 MP. Now, keep in mind that the Summoner class has a reduction in the amount of mana that's spent, or magic power that's spent, as well. Just like the Sage class did. So it seems to do the exact same thing that Summon does, which is a little bit weird. That time Gabo's actually worked to do some damage, and Hero's didn't work at all, which, yeah. So now I'm going to switch either over to the Ranger class or the Tamer class with Hero and Gabo. I'm not sure which yet. So yeah. Okay, so I changed Hero and Gabo to the Ranger class, and the first level of the Ranger class has the bounce ability. So we're going to see what that does. Now, if you've played Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, then you know that Hero in that game has the ability Bounce. And what it does is it reflects all projectiles. In this case, I'm pretty sure it reflects all magic abilities. Yeah, rebound magic spells. So we'll use it very fast. It costs how much MP? 4 MP. That's actually pretty good for something that reflects magic. I don't know if how much magic it reflects. I don't know if it reflects including spells or something, but anyways, or like healing spells, I mean. Yeah, there we go. That's what it does. And I think that one of the enemies tried to use that stop spell on Hero or Gabo, and it reflected. I don't know though for sure. Hero was promoted to level 37. As Rangers, Hero and Gabo became Wanderers and learned Fire Slash. So, let's go check that out. That sounds very familiar. I think that Kiefer may have learned that ability back when we still had him in the party. It should be around here. Yeah, there it is. Right there. I wonder if I can get to it a little bit faster this way. Sometimes navigating that menu is a pain in the butt. Anyways, it isn't going to be all that strong, but wow, actually it's pretty decent. At least against these enemies. Ira has reached level 30, and Melvin just mastered the Jester class, so I'm going to switch him back to the Dancer class to mature that for the Bird skill. As Rangers, Hero and Gabo became Scouts and learned Bolt Slash. So similar to Fire Slash, I'm assuming that this is a skill that does a different type of elemental damage. In this case, lightning element damage or something to that effect. So let's see where it is, right here. So we got tornado powered, fire powered, and now thunder powered. Okay, it's thunder. So let's use this with Hero and Gabo, just for the sake of saying that we did. Well, there we go. And parry and parry. Yeah. At the very least with Hero, he's doing decent damage. I mean, it's not, it's not amazing damage or anything that they're doing with Fire Slash and Bolt Slash, but it's better than I expected. That's why I was, like saying that earlier about Fire Slash. As Rangers, Hero and Gabo became Battlers and learned Twin Hits. So let's go see what that does. It sounds like a buff. I've seen this skill before, but I don't know if it was used by monsters or used by Kiefer. If this is another ability that Kiefer had, though, that'd be kind of funny. Should probably be... Will it be a casting ability? Yeah, right here. Double the attack of an ally. So I'll use Twin Hits with Hero, and because Gabo and Hero kind of have similar stats, I'll have Gabo use an attack, and we'll base it off of the far left Clauser, which did like 49 points of damage. Anywhere from... Well, we could base it on any of the Clausers, really. I ought to get that boomerang that Gabo has unequipped. Now, let's see. Yeah, that's a fairly substantial increase in damage. Now, granted, the boomerang doesn't do as much individual damage, but I imagine that Gabo would have probably only done around 70 to 100 points of damage anyways with the normal attack if he had a normal weapon, so... Yeah, that's a fairly useful ability. I wonder if it could be combined. You know what? For the sake of argument, I'm going to see if I can combine it. Oh, it's still in effect. Let's see if I can combine it with Rock Throw. Now, if it can be combined with Rock Throw, that'll be useful. No, not really. Then I don't know. Okay, so Melvin just matured as a dancer. Now I'm going to change him over to the Thief class and mature that as well. So Ira just mastered the fighter class, and I am going to switch her over to the shepherd class to have that class mature. As Rangers, Hero and Gabo became enchanters and learned Ice Slash. So obviously this is still following that same theme of slash-related abilities. I will still show it though, as per usual. So it should be a skill, and it'll probably be on this page, yep. Ice-powered attack. So these, I guess the general idea is that if you actually knew what the elemental weaknesses were of different enemies, then these would actually come in handy. But because I don't, I'm just gonna have to kind of ignore these abilities for the most part. I mean, I could try to find out their elemental weaknesses, but I don't know if that would really matter in the long run. So yeah, that's what it did. Okay, so Melvin just matured as a thief, and I am going to be switching him over to the mage class to master that. Gabo is now level 36. Okay, so Ira just matured as a shepherd. I'm going to be switching her over to the warrior class now. As Rangers, Hero and Gabo became blade mages and learned Disperse. So let's go find out what Disperse does. I actually have no idea. It sounds a little bit odd, doesn't it? Is it Disperse magic or something? We already have abilities that are similar to that. Right here. Knock enemy away. I wasn't expecting that. Let's use it with both of them. It should be others. Yeah, right there. I'll use that on the Clauser. And it's like it causes them to float off into the afterlife. That's funny. So it's just another insta-defeat ability, which is neat, I suppose. I mean, I imagine that each of them has like some kind of different function, but it's hard to really know what their functions are with such vague descriptions. Ira just matured as a warrior, so I'm going to be switching her over to the dancer class and have her mature in that again as well. Ira was promoted to level 31. Ira just matured as a dancer, so I'm going to be changing her to the cleric class, which I'm pretty sure she hasn't been that class yet, so yep, that's what I'm going to do. As Rangers, Hero and Gabo became Conquerors, which is somewhat, I don't know about that title, and learned Firebolt. So let us find out what Firebolt does. Sometimes the titles that they give for these classes are a little bit funny. They don't really have any kind of effect or anything, but I still like saying them. I imagine Firebolt is probably, yeah, right here. Engulfs a group. Well, I may as well use it on the Parasnails and then on the Evil Armor just to see what it can do. Hopefully it's good. To be honest, with that effect, I'm not too confident. Yeah. Unless all three of them were guarding, then I don't think so. Let's see what it does to the Evil Armor. Yeah, 67 points of damage. It's pretty average. How much did it cost? I'll find out in a second here, once their enemies are done with their little attack animations. Let's see. 10 MP for that? Wow. Wow, what a waste. Okay. Melvin was promoted to level 34. Okay, so Hero and Gabo both mastered the Ranger class and became Foss and learned Blaze Most. Oh boy. That doesn't sound too promising, does it? We're going to show what that does very fast, and then I'm going to go back and change to a different class, the Tamer class, and then I'm going to actually stop this video. So let's see, Blaze Most. It should be a casting ability right there. Wow, our spell list is starting to fill out here. Huge fireball. So I'm only gonna have Hero use it since I don't want to win this battle. I didn't know if it would attack all of them or only 129 damage. Huh. Wow, that's unfortunate. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna change over to the Tamer class now. Okay, so this is where I'm ending this video. I'm right outside of Coastal here. And I switched Hero and Gabo over to the Tamer class, as I said before. And as you can see here, the this page is almost completely filled out. It just has the Tamer left. And then for this page, there's only going to be one more human class, which is the Hero class. And then the rest, of course, are the monster classes. So, as per usual, this is going to be released alongside the story video, so if you wanted to watch that right after this, I'd appreciate it. So yeah, thank you, and I will see you there.